Initializing Orion. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to our world. The change is engineered here every day.
You must not fight too frequently with your enemy, or else the enemy shall learn your art of war. Your business is your dream, and so is ours. Therefore, we understand the unique want and desire for knowledge that every entrepreneur and businessman has in order to advance into the market. My name is Nikhilesh Bhargava. I am the Chief of Negotiations for Orion Legal Services, and we are taking this initiative to make up these small segments wherein I shall be talking about the various aspects of entrepreneurship and business ownership, recounting and assimilating the learnings of my firm, that is Orion Legal Services. So the question that was put up in front of me today was that what are my tips to set up a legal structure inside a new business, a new startup, right? Well, let's consider this. The economy today is a fast-paced game. With the abundance of cloud-based solutions, the relatively low barriers to entry, and a surplus of capital available to the entrepreneurs, means that you should be in overdrive all the time, or else somebody shall pass you, and that too very quickly. Yet, even with these conditions and this openness in the market, hurdles remain. And every participant, every businessman, they need to tackle them. You see, before the very beginning of your business strategy, you should satisfy all the legal requirements of your industry. Understand them, know them, right? No matter how great your business strategy may be, it shall not be executed if you're operating outside the legal bounds. Well, unless, of course, you're Pablo Escobar. So you see, the very well-being of your business depends on giving this building block the time, attention, nurture, and care it deserves, and that too at the very early stage. So, here are a few tips that I have for you to set up your own legal strategy in your fledgling business, right? So first comes the budget. Make sure that you budget more for your legal spend than you think you will need. Do not underestimate your legal expenses, my dear friends. Legal fees could end up being a large bargain of your investment when you start up your business. In my experience, these fees always ends up being more than anticipated due to the constant back and forth, the legal complexities, and other factors. They keep on changing, right? So the fees keeps on changing. Make sure that you consult with your attorney, your advocate, whosoever you are taking the advice from. Make sure that you take an estimate so as to the total cost which shall be involved, right? It can be very helpful to speak to other entrepreneurs who deal with the similar legal situation or legal challenge, if you may. You see, it helps to determine the right estimate of those costs. Retainership modules can be economical, but you need to be clear on your requirements, right? Research on what you need and what the firm is trying to serve you. At the end of the day, your budget needs to be set up wisely so that you do not have to dip into your pockets for more funds. Because you see, when you segregate these funds can be used to put your business objectives forward at the same time, right? Okay, so next what you can do is, assume that you need twice as much time as you anticipate you will need. Definitely. See, when the idea of your business comes to you and you see a market need that is not being fulfilled, You want to get cracking right away, isn't it? But getting your legal ducks in order takes a lot of time. So, plan ahead. Make sure you know which licenses, certifications, or compliances you need to begin operating, and take into account the time needed to acquire those permits. You need to be flexible with your team so that you can modify the approach, you can modify the objective, and you can modify your product till the time proper clarifications and compliances are achieved, right? Do not sit around the block waiting for these compliances to happen. Be flexible with your approach, right? Okay, so, right. Thirdly, you need to choose the right man for the job. See, specialization matters and it matters a lot. An attorney not versed in the specific field can be costly. For instance, if you need to obtain a patent, let's say, work with a patent lawyer. The specialist's years of experience in intellectual property and in-depth knowledge of the ins and outs of patent and trademark litigation will serve you well. Opting for a general practice lawyer who covers a broad range of areas but specializes in none. You see, that saves you money upfront, but it might not provide you with the best of knowledge that you require, right? It's worth getting the right person for the job. You'll spend more in the long run if you don't. You need to understand that, right? Opting to detain a firm, well, that strikes a balance between specialization and their specialized approach and the cost effectiveness. Okay, so let's move forward with this. And yeah, fourth, isn't it? Yeah, fourth. So make sure you are covered and that you are not breaking any laws. The consequence of not having your legal house in order can be expensive. So what do we mean when we say that you need to keep your legal house in order? That means that you need to be aware, right, of the legal environment which surrounds your business. For example, GST. For example, the new general anti-avoidance rules. You need to be aware of these, because the consequences of not having knowledge of these developments can be expensive. You see, there was a company called Square. It was a mobile commerce startup. It was fined more than $500,000 in Florida for operating without a money transaction license. Worse than fines, however, is the damage you suffer from squandering your reputation with your customers. You need to keep up with competitors and expand into new markets, and this can be seen as very pressing, right? But no corners are worth cutting if it ends up ruining your brand. Work with a trusted legal advisor early on to ensure that your compliances and your operatings are well within the bounds of the legal letter. Okay, so I'll come to my last advice then, and it's really important. Okay, so my last and final advice to set up your legal structure in your startup is that you need to maintain a parallel setup. What do I mean by that? Okay, so the parallel setup means that if part of your business model requires licenses, compliances, certifications, do what you can legally until you're compliant. While obtaining these legal permissions to run your business is vital to starting your business, obviously, don't sit around waiting for progress on the legal front, right? Do not sit around. Use your time wisely, investing and building in the areas of your business wherein you do not need the legal clarifications and clearances. For instance, you can launch in certain states where the clarification and compliances are not needed, while you work on the compliances in the states that require them. Okay, or probably you can put up a narrower solution into the market than you intended. And you can always be ready to flip the switch when the compliances are in place and you can start pushing the more broader aspect of your solutions. You see, by its nature, the business moves fast. Following these steps will help you build a long way to your business and help you stay protected. Okay, but as I mentioned earlier, your business is your dream. Remember, just because something may be legal doesn't always mean it's right for your business. With each decision, make sure you're not just following the law, but also abiding to your intent. Your business should be built on your values and operate with positive intent. Keep that in mind, regardless of what legal parameters your venture faces, right? With that, I come to the end of my segment, let's say. I and my team wish you the very best of luck for your endeavors. Feel free to contact us anytime for support and my team shall be with you. If you like our initiative, do leave a reply, do leave a comment, right? Or probably you can share the video. Your comments and your requests and your suggestions are more important than you think. We would like to respond to you all this while. Thank you. This was Nikhilesh Bhargava signing off.